A tire thief is loose in Norman. Another White House aide steps down. And the roller coaster weather in Oklahoma continues. This is OU Nightly. Hello and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Jaycie Bayless.
And I'm Matt Marks. We begin with a downright crazy crime at a Norman car dealer. Take a look at these vehicles on the lot at Landers Chevrolet on West Lindsay Street. 40 cars and trucks are without wheels after someone made off with their tires. That's 160 tires total. Now, Andrew, you join us here. You got a story for us.
Yes, sir. I was actually just up at Norman PD talking with them about this incident. And you wouldn't think that this could happen overnight. Thieves left the vehicles propped up on bricks and made off with a total of 160 tires. No easy task. OU Nightly reached out to management at Landers Chevrolet today, and they did not want to talk with us. But we do know that Norman police are currently investigating the incident.
Investigation, it appeared that a group of individuals had come onto the lot by cutting open the gate, had come on, disabled the lights in a portion of the area where the vehicles that they were going to target were located, and then had removed those wheels and rims from those vehicles, loaded them into their truck, and then left the area.
This is not the first crime of its type. Norman police tell us similar incidents have happened in Tyler, Texas, and in Houston, although at this point they are not saying the crimes are related. Reporting live, Andrew Adams, OU Nightly.
Thank you, Andrew. Yesterday, a Saudi man who allegedly attended an al-Qaeda training camp was arrested in Oklahoma. Naif Al-Falaj has been accused of 2 counts of visa fraud and lying to the FBI. The FBI found his fingerprints on an application submitted around September 2000 to the Camp Al-Farouk, a key al-Qaeda training camp in Afghanistan. Naif had been living with his wife in Weatherford until his arrest. If convicted, he faces up to 10 years in prison for each count of fraud and 8 years of lying to the FBI.
And another shakeup is coming out of Washington, D.C. tonight as one of President's top aides is resigning. Taitum Wilson is in the news center with details on that. Taitum.
That's right, another White House aide is stepping down from the Trump administration. Rob Porter, who serves as Trump's staff secretary, is being accused of domestic abuse by 2 ex-wives. He says those claims are outrageous and simply false. Porter's first wife, Colby Holderness, says that while they were married, Porter choked and punched her. His second wife, Jennifer Willoughby, said he physically dragged her out of the shower and used vulgar language toward her on their honeymoon. Porter plans to leave the office after a transition period. And today, the Senate revealed a massive 2-year budget plan, one they say could prevent the shutdown. The plan, unveiled by Majority Leader Mitch McConnell with Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, would increase federal government spending on military, disaster relief, and non-defense programs. The budget deal is a victory for both parties and required a great deal of bipartisan negotiations.
The budget deal doesn't have everything Democrats want. It doesn't have everything Republicans want, but it has a great deal of what the American people want.
The plan still needs to pass the House, where it's already facing opposition. The biggest concern appears to be how long to raise the debt ceiling. And as the Winter Olympics approach this Friday in South Korea, Vice President Mike Pence continues to put pressure on their neighbors to the north. In President Trump's first year in office, a major focus has been on North Korea in dealing with dictator Kim Jong-un. Pence today in East Asia spoke about the upcoming sanctions that will soon be unleashed on the North Korean regime.
The United States of America will soon unveil the toughest and most aggressive round of economic sanctions on North Korea ever.
There are no details yet on what the sanctions will entail, but they are expected before the end of the Winter Games. And Jaycie, former Pope Benedict XVI, said he is on a pilgrimage toward home as he referred to his declining health. Benedict, now age 90, resigned as Pope in 2013.
Well, thank you, Taitum. So police arrested another principal this week out of Wichita Falls School District for failing to report a sexual assault claim. Cindy Underwood is a principal at Kate Haynes Northwest Academy. Underwood was booked on Monday and released on bail shortly after. Now, Corey Dorman, a principal at Crockett Elementary, was charged last week for the same Class A misdemeanor. A student's grandparent told Dorman of a child that was sexually assaulted in a school bathroom, and Dorman admitted that she did not report this claim, even though the state law requires any official to report a claim of child abuse within 48 hours. The school district is working on an internal investigation, and both principals have been placed on administrative leave.
An inmate in Oklahoma County Jail died this week after being found unresponsive in his cell. Nicholas Green was found just 5 minutes after being placed there and was rushed to the hospital. He died at the hospital on Monday night. Medical staff cleared Green before booking, so for now, the cause of death is unknown. The Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office is investigating. The body has been sent to the medical examiner's office.
And an Oklahoma police officer from Asher died yesterday in a fiery crash. 23-year-old Jarrett Condit was trying to pass another vehicle when he overcorrected, causing the car to flip. The car crashed into a concrete culvert and it burst into flames. Now, witnesses tried to pull the officer Condit from the car, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. The cause is still under investigation, but troopers say that the road was most likely wet. And it's been much nicer today than it has been for this past 2 days at least.
Oh, I've enjoyed it. We need more of this weather for sure.
Right. Well, Erica, can you tell us if that weather is going to stick around?
That's right, Jaycie. Today, compared to the rest of the week, we are feeling those warmer, slightly warmer temperatures. Current temperature in Norman, 42 degrees, 41 in Oklahoma, even parts of the Panhandle in 51 degrees. But we are expected to see that those temperatures are going to warm up throughout the week. But towards the end of the weekend, we are expecting to see another round of winter precip. And I have more on more daylight that is expected throughout the season. Back to you guys at the desk.
Well, thank you, Erica. And man's best friend was saved by man. A Tulsa firefighter spotted a dog stranded on the frozen pond earlier today. More firefighters showed up to help rescue the dog with their thermal suits and their rapid deployment craft. The dog jumped in without hesitation and the crew pulled him to shore. The pup has been turned over to animal control and it is not clear how long he was stranded.
Still ahead on OU Nightly, 3, 2, 1 liftoff. The story behind this rocket launch and its unique exploration of space.
Plus, OU students might find that their fresh veggies are grown right in their backyard. Stay tuned.
A word of warning for dog lovers in Stillwater. A veterinarian clinic in town has issued a warning about the highly contagious parvovirus. The clinic says 2 dogs that spent time at the Stillwagon Dog Park have confirmed cases of parvo. While regulars at the dog park don't want visitors to stay away from the park, they do warn that everyone needs to make sure their dogs are up to date on vaccines.
And yesterday, Taiwan was struck with a powerful earthquake. Abby Green is with us from Earth Report with more. Abby.
A 6.4 magnitude earthquake struck the coast of Taiwan last night. According to authorities, the quake killed 4 people and injured over 200 others. 2 bridges have been closed and 4 buildings, including the Marshall Hotel, have collapsed. The island of Taiwan is located on the Ring of Fire, where earthquakes are not uncommon. And Elon Musk's Tesla Roadster launched on top of SpaceX's Falcon Heavy yesterday. The Tesla's 6-hour cruise through space was live streamed by the SpaceX. The vehicle intended to be placed on a path around the sun, taking it the distance of Mars' orbit. The rocket completed one last engine burn as it approached Southern California, igniting in the sky after 9:30. According to Musk, the rocket is headed deep into the asteroid belt and close to the dwarf planet Ceres. And Dunkin' Donuts announced that by 2020, they will no longer be using styrofoam cups. Beginning in the spring, the company will start using double-walled paper cups. The new cups will contain heat like the previous cups, so you won't need a sleeve to protect your hands. International locations have already began using the new cup products.
Oh, well, it'll be nice. My hands won't have to
for
burn.
sure. And it sounds very environmentally friendly, too.
Perfect. So. Well, thank you, Abby. Well, lots of OU students, along with staff and faculty, enjoy fresh salads every day. But many do not know that those greens are grown in a garden much closer than they may think. OU Nightly's Reagan Ledbetter has the story.
No, this is not a party bus. This is actually a farm on campus. This $80,000 freight container houses a hydroponic growing system that provides fresh produce to the Kate Center. I asked Housing and Food Services Wyndham McDowell to take me through the process.
And this is the farm.
From the outside, it looks like a place for storage, but inside is a complex growing system, and it all starts with a seed.
Here is our seedling area. This is our main table. This is where most of the work of the farm happens.
The seeds are first planted into the trays, where they are then placed in a safe spot. Next, the seeds are covered with a humidity dome to get them to germinate.
Germination takes anywhere from 7 to 10 days, so it's about a week-long process.
The trays are kept in their safe place for the week while the root structure begins to form.
So this root structure here is what we need in order to help promote the actual growth of the product, which is lettuce.
Once the proper root structure is formed, it's time for the final stage of the growing process, vertical hydroponic growth.
The idea is the mesh holds the grow plug in place, and it is watered through a trickle-down watering system. This is some of the Swiss chard that we've been able to maintain a regular growth on. We've got the towers divided into 4 sections. That way every week we're able to seed, we're able to transplant, and we're able to harvest.
And speaking of harvest, it is done by a full team of volunteers. Freshman Emily Sullivan is one of those volunteers.
I usually harvest, so every week I go into the farm and I harvest one section, which is I think about 64 towers.
After the harvest, the produce is transported into Kate and stored in the refrigeration unit. Next, it makes its way from the big white tubs to the salad bars for consumption.
We keep most of it here in Kate, but we're also able to send it off to other places as needed.
Then it makes its way here to your lunch and your dinner. Fresh produce that is homegrown just out the back door. Reagan, Ledbetter, OU Nightly.
The goal is to have 25% of the produce served be local. With the freight farm, there is also the opportunity for it to be sustainable and green.
Still ahead on OU Nightly, Erica has more on this up and down weather this week.
That's right, you guys. Pleasant conditions now, but this is going to change this weekend. I'll have more details coming up. Welcome back to OU Nightly. Taking a live look of downtown Norman, we can see very stable conditions, mostly sunny skies, calm winds, and even temperatures at 42 degrees currently. Like I said, those calm winds at 6 miles per hour and those dew points at 14. And taking a regional look at our area, you can see that a high pressure system is over our area, causing those stable conditions, slightly warm temperatures than we've been feeling this past week, and even those winds that are coming from the south, which is going to cause an increase in temperatures in the next few hours. Fortunately, today we felt those temperatures at 42 degrees, and tomorrow we are expected to be in the 50s. These winds will start to increase too, influencing that temperature change and that increase in temperature. But then on Friday, this is looking to change because a cold front will move to our area as of 5 p.m. afternoon. Those winds will still be from the south, but we are going to have a change in winds due to this cold front from the north, and this is going to influence a drastic decrease in temperatures that we are expected to see, and this drastic decrease in temperatures is going to influence this possibility of mixed precipitation, especially sleet in the Norman, Tulsa, and northern Oklahoma area. So we are watching this and we are monitoring this over the next few days. But after this frontal system pushes through, we will see stable conditions return to our areas. Also, those winds will change direction from the south, causing another increase in temperatures in the next week. Tonight's lows around the 20s. We are a little bit below normal for this time of year, 25 in Norman, and that normal temperature, like I said, 31 degrees with those winds calm and mostly clear skies. Tomorrow, that high temperature in those 52 degrees for Norman, 56 in Oklahoma City. Like I said, those winds from the south causing that increase in temperatures, sunny skies, and then that normal temperature, we are right about normal with those winds from the south between 10 and 15 miles per hour. Like I said, we are expected to see a warming trend. Tomorrow, 52 degrees, 58 for Friday, and then that cold front pushes through, causing 34 for the high temperature and then 37 as of Sunday. In the next 2 days, like I said, an increase in temperatures and a slight chance of sleet on Saturday with that high temperature at 34 degrees, a 20% chance of sleet, and that is also going to continue to Sunday morning. And then next week, temperatures will warm up pretty fast due to those southerly winds. So a roller coaster of temperatures once again in Oklahoma.
Always. It's warm and then it's cold.
Right. Thanks, Erica. In Shiloh, it looks like the Sooners will have some new faces joining the team very soon.
That's right, Matt. Today is the long-awaited National Signing Day, and the OKC Thunder game against the Golden State Warriors left some unhappy. Stick around because sports is straight ahead. Welcome back. Just an hour ago, we learned that OU receiver Nick Basquin tore his Achilles during workouts and will miss spring football. Basquin sat out the entire 2017 season with his first Achilles tear, and even with his second tear, he is expected to be back for the 2018 season. And happy National Signing Day. Today is a big day for both teams and recruits. Our Christian Nunley has the latest on the Sooners Day.
This past year, OU's social media presence has been tremendous. From eye emojis to celebrity videos, the presence has been felt. And we've seen that correlate to recruiting. Although a new early signing day in December has been introduced, the hype behind the day remains. Headlining the recruits of today are defensive tackle Michael Thompson and linebacker Deshaun White. To pair with a deep defensive back class, both can help revamp a front seven that was dismantled in the Rose Bowl.
You know, Kelly's a big kid, and then we think's got a chance to be a really good player. And then Michael's kind of that kind of that massive wall that you want right in the middle of your defense. So there's a lot of good players there, but there's different skill sets, which I think is good for us.
With new defensive line coaches that plan on signing multi-year deals, it seems as though the future of the OU defense is in good hands. Christian Nunley, OU TV Sports.
And hot off another NCAA title, Sooner softball gets ready to take the field for their 2018 season. Last we saw them, the Sooners were celebrating another national championship. This coming Friday marks a new beginning for the girls as they take on Weber State in the GCU kickoff tournament. Coach Patigasa says that they are focused on the future.
What I think is important is that we continue to stay focused on what we're doing in the present versus referring to the past. I think our team did a really nice job this fall. Learned a lot from some of the mistakes they made last year. So it's a new journey, and we can't live off of our laurels of what we've done in the past and just kind of start over and new team, new season, new expectations. And they've matured quite a bit. So I think they are going to be ready to handle that. And moving on from the college world to the national sports, the New England Patriots assistant coach Josh McDaniels decides to stick around Foxborough a little bit longer. The Indianapolis Colts released a statement last night saying that McDaniels will not be joining the team. McDaniels was expected to take the head coaching job for Indy, but after conversations with Bill Belichick, who was willing to increase McDaniels' mentorship, McDaniels changed his mind. And tensions were high last night as the OKC Thunder brought down the Golden State Warriors. Russell Westbrook played an intense game, driving to the rim to lay one in. The game was physical and fast-paced. So physical that Draymond Green was ejected for arguing with officials. That certainly did not help the Warriors as Westbrook and Paul George ran the court with a combined 72 points. The Thunder ended the blowout at 125-105 to extend the Warriors' losing streak. And now Draymond Green wasn't the only Warrior upset about foul calls being made. Many were unhappy about Kevin Durant being called for an apparent trip. Officials whistled Durant for tripping Westbrook on a drive to the basket. However, a closer look shows Russ wasn't touched by anyone, especially KD. Amazingly, the call still stood.
So he tripped over nothing.
It was very apparent from the video that he slipped.
Slipped, okay.
But you know how tensions are tough.
Right. Well, thank you, Shiloh. Well, still to come on OU Nightly, winter athletes are not just headed to South Korea. Stay with us.
I'm Katelyn Howard at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Yesterday, we brought you a story about 2 OU employees who reported that another employee touched them inappropriately during 2 separate incidents in Couch Center. Now, the suspect is no longer employed by the university. And an Oklahoma man who killed his neighbor in August of 2016 has been found guilty by a Tulsa jury on 3 counts, including first-degree murder. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Katelyn. So the 2018 Winter Olympics are this weekend, but some athletes will be heading to New Mexico. And you heard that right. New Mexico will be holding their annual Angel Fire Resort World Championship shovel races. Racers of all ages compete by simply sitting on an aluminum snow shovel and making their way down a mountain. Now, to win, all you have to do is be the quickest one down the mountain, which sounds easy, but traveling at 70 miles per hour on a shovel down a mountain is more than I could ever do. Sounds dangerous.
That sounds fun.
Well, Erica, I know that it's obviously getting brighter, but it has to do with our weather fact.
Yes, so I'm going to be talking about the increased daylight that we are expected to see. Typically, winters are characterized by less daylight, but right now we have 10 hours and 41 minutes of daylight, but by March 1st, we will have 11 hours and 22 minutes, so we're gaining nearly 2 minutes of daylight every day. So much more time for outside activities.
Sounds great to me. Well, thank you. And thank you all for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by Gaylord College here on OU's campus.
We'll see you back here tomorrow at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.